35 laps the distance. Can Kyle Larson go from 8th to 1st, cash in on the extra $8,000? Will it be somebody else notching their first win with the High Limit Sprint Car Series? Parker Price Miller, Brent Marks, Anthony Macri, Danny Dietrich, Rico Abreu, Austin McCarl, your first 3 rows. Field in the hands of PPM through 3 and out of 4. We're racing at the Tri-City Speedway. Green flag in the air.
Down the chute into the turn. They go 3 wide. Back there for 5th. Now 3 wide for the lead. Down the front straightaway. Parker Price Miller on the outside. Brent Marks down low. Who will lead lap 1? Oh, trouble in turn 3. Look out. 2 cars upside down.
Tyler Courtney upside down. We had 3 more get collected in that one. It was Buddy Kofoid that was spun around backwards right in front of the field. He was upside down. He's just to the left of that infield tire on FloRacing. And, of course, if you're looking at him here live, Brady Bacon involved. And is that Cole Macedo, the other white car that's back there that's turned over? So I think everybody got upside down at one point or another. Maybe Brady stayed on all 4s. Tyler Courtney definitely got upside down. Front end knocked out of the 7BC. That is 2 races in a row with him where he has gotten upside down. We don't see that from Sunshine very often, but it has erased his control that he had on the points lead. And you see Tyler Courtney out of the car. And looks like Cole Macedo climbing out as well. Brady Bacon still in his car and tending to Buddy Kofoid. Chris Wilner, hear you down there. What you got?
Yeah, first starting off with the Tyler Courtney machine. Heavy front end damage to the left front. The entire left side radius rod kind of bent up in the headers. You got a flat left rear tire, so that one's going to be done for the day. They got the Buddy Kofoid car back on all 4s as officials talk to Buddy. They actually, looks like they may try to take the wing off, get him to the work area. It is rolling on all 4s at this point if you're watching live on FloRacing. So they're going to get him to the infield and possibly a trip to the work area. Meanwhile, Cole Macedo is out of his race car in the 50-year shingles machine. Left front or left rear flat on that race car, and also some front end damage. So Calamity corner into turn 3, kind of a high-speed part of the racetrack. Good to see all the drivers okay, but we'll keep an eye on Buddy Kofoid and see what they do back in the work area.
Brady Bacon also has made his way to the work area flat right front on the 21H. Replay on FloRacing incoming. And again, it kind of started, I think, with Kofoid, who got turned around. As you see the field working through 1 and 2 here. There's Kofoid right in the middle of your screen, the Indy Race Parts Black and Green 71. Oh, Sanders and him made contact. And then everybody else, Courtney looked like went up high to just kind of avoid everything. Yep. Yeah, Courtney just got up into the crumbs and then couldn't get it brought back down the hill trying to miss it. I think everybody else behind him just scattered as well. Good work by most of those guys there in the back to avoid the war zone. As you see the Joy of Seating drone cam crews going to work on Brady Bacon's right front. Had a right front flat. Looks like a couple of radius rods laying there as well that they are in need of fixing. And a new left rear going on the 21H as well.
Looks like the nose wing.
Yeah, nose wing going off.
Is all out of joint there. Heavy bumper damage there. So it got into the nose wing, turned it around a little bit, so they're going to put a new one on.
So a halting start as, again, Kofoid's car has been pushed to the infield.
There's a look at Tyler Courtney's car. Yeah, as Chris mentioned, the front end completely knocked out of that car. Heavy top wing damage.
And this is, as we said, been a tough stretch. He was tied with Kyle Larson for the points lead going into Wayne County, and 2 weeks in a row he's gotten upside down. Had a 22nd place finish officially at Wayne County. And it's likely to be worse than that here as you see crews going to work on Buddy Kofoid's car now. Have to replace the top wing. Everybody else from there will flip-flop. That's where Buddy Kofoid was originally supposed to start inside row 6. He will tag the tail and restart at the back. Long way to go for Kofoid and Bacon. We'll watch their progress as well. Parker Price Miller, Brent Marks in control. They'll bring us back to the green. 35 laps at Tri-City Speedway.
Parker Price Miller gets out there first. Here comes Danny Dietrich now. He'll get around the inside of Brent Marks for the 2nd spot. BPM trying to bring him around for lap 1. Marks taking a look to the inside.
Dietrich there in the second spot as they work down the front straightaway. Battle for the lead into turn number 1. Dietrich on the bottom. It's been good down there tonight. He drives right around Parker Price Miller. Danny Dietrich to the race lead. PPM back to second. Marks is third.
Well, this will be dangerous now, and Danny Dietrich's able to get out front and run here for a little bit before they get into lap traffic. Down the back straightaway, Parker Price Miller, then Brent Marks in the third spot, Anthony Macri fourth, and Rico Abreu in the fifth position.
And I wonder if Parker was surprised that the bottom was that good, with as much talk as everybody was having about the top side being preferred. Here's a battle for second. Now Marks is on the move on the bottom as well off of turn number 2. He drives by Price Miller, so Parker goes back to the third spot. Marks to second, trying to track down his fellow posse member, Danny Dietrich.
Rico used the bottom side there in turn number 1, back to the inside, trying to make it work for him. Austin McCarl down there. Now Kyle Larson makes a run on McCarl down the back straightaway.
Larson's up to 7th. This is the race for 6th. Ian McCarl trying to duke it out here off of turn number 4. McCarl on the bottom, slides up in front of Larson. Larson committed to the top side once again. He may have a run here off of 2.
Down the back chute, Anthony Macri now working on Parker Price Miller. Had a run on him into 3, now goes to the top of 4. Parker Price Miller able to hold him back, still in the third spot, but now your leader can see traffic as he races down the back chute.
That's right, back in the field, Connor Morrell, Ricky Sittenhouse Jr. going to be the first 2 cars he encounters, but Dietrich comfortably out front right now, about 10 car lengths over Brent Marks as they work down the front stretch. Price Miller's third, Macri's fourth, Abreu's fifth. Here comes Kyle Larson, he's up to 6th.
On the outside of Abreu, now down the back chute, nose to tail. Abreu goes to the bottom, Larson to the high side of the racetrack. Here comes Kyle Larson. He'll put the whip to it. No, can't get there. Abreu slides up across the nose. Now Larson to the bottom of 1.
Oh, trouble. Top 2 battling and get together. Danny Dietrich and Brent Marks stop at the exit of 2. Marks gasses it up and keeps going somehow, but the battle for the lead goes awry at the exit of turn number 2. Dietrich is broke, and Marks may have a problem too, but he was able to keep going. Oh, now the whole front end just folded in on Marks' car.
And he nosed it hard into the wall there in turn number 4 as the four-wheeler behind Danny Dietrich down the back chute. Here's a replay on flow as you take a look at Brent Marks sitting up on the high side.
Watch Danny Dietrich. Sounds like there may have been some sort of problem with him. Well, he did slow.
He slowed right away.
I couldn't tell if he was maybe just not going anywhere in the slick or if he did have a problem, but Marks with nowhere to go, and you see it knock the front end out of Marks' car, and then it finally collapses over here in turn 3.
Man. Tough break for your top 2 cars. Danny Dietrich now making his way down into the work area. Crew looking at the left side of that car.
And that was where obviously the collision was with Marks. Left side tires up still. Just trying to figure out exactly what went wrong here.
Yeah, guys, Danny just pulled down here and he said it just lost power, so they were looking under the hood of that number 48 machine, but no real urgency, so it's something terminal as you see the emotions from Danny Dietrich. What a job for this car number 48, Randy Gass and everybody involved. Again, this is not his preliminary Pennsylvania car. This is his strictly high limit car. They've made leaps and bounds the last several races, going from outside a transfer spot into a feature to now being up front, contending for a win and leading laps. So heartbreak for Danny Dietrich, but I don't think this will be the last time we'll see him up front in a high limit race.
Yeah, that's tough. They certainly made a big improvement here, and not going to get the finish they deserve for sure. As you see the tow truck getting hooked up to the front of Brent Marks' car over in turn 3 and 4.
Pretty close now.
Yeah, he can smell it, I think. Money, money, money.
Parker Price Miller, though, pulls the belts a bit tighter, getting ready to go. Anthony Macri to his outside. Rico Abreu on the inside of the second row. Kyle Larson alongside of him. Austin McCarl and Brian Brown, your top 6 as they come off of turn 4. PPM on the gas, green is out.
What does Price Miller do here? He goes right to the top side. Rico takes advantage of that, drives right by him. Rico Abreu to the top spot. Price Miller falls in line in second. Macri to third. 3-car race for the lead through 3 and out of 4.
Well, there's something on the bottom, and Rico has found it. He was so locked down coming off the bottom before they couldn't even deal with him. Battle in the second spot now. PPM in that number 2 position. Macri third. Larson to fourth. Now Brian Brown up into the 5th position.
They swap lanes back at the front. Parker Price Miller to the bottom. Abreu to the top side. Now they do the same through 1 and 2. Price Miller goes back to the top. Bottom better through 1 and 2. Macri draws to the left rear for second.
Back to the bottom of 3 and 4. PPM through the middle. Rico leads them. Kyle trying to make something happen on the top there. Here comes Anthony Macri back to the inside of Parker Price Miller. Almost side by side for second off of 2.
Top side maybe starting to come in a little bit. Enough cars are up there to kind of clean it off and pack in the rework that they did before the feature. Abreu's been committed to it. Price Miller's making better time up there, as is Kyle Larson. Race for third off 2. Larson to the outside.
Kyle Larson gets the spot away from Macri, who shuffles back to the 4th spot. Kyle Larson through the middle now sets his sights on PPM. Then it's Macri. Here comes Hafertepe now. He gets by Brian Brown a lap ago off the bottom. Brown, then the 11 coming up here now, closing in quickly. That's Corey Eliason.
Good run for Sam Hafertepe. Best with the high limit series so far this year for sure. Turning our attention back to the front. Race for second starting to heat up as Abreu gets away. Parker Price Miller has second, but Larson is closing. He runs third.
Well, traffic is all over the racetrack now, Dylan, so Rico's going to have to start moving around, which he's done. The bottom's really good for him. He's good on the top, so we'll see what he has to do here within about a lap, I'd say.
That's right. Connor Morrell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. once again, the first 2 cars that are going to go a lap down. They'll leave the top lane for Rico. Price Miller comfortably in second. He's pulled away from Larson slightly, who falls back in third.
Anthony Macri moves to the top now in the 4th spot. Sam Hafertepe Jr. 5th. Corey Eliason 6th. Brian Brown is 7th. Battle for 8th now. Zebby on the bottom of Austin McCarl off of 2.
Leaders in lap traffic here as they work through 1 and out of 2 for Abreu. Price Miller and Kyle Larson still run second and third. About 5 car lengths separating them. Lap cars, the next 3 are all around the bottom, so this should allow the top 4 clear racetrack here as they try to battle for position with 16 to go next time by.
Well, we talked about it at the top of the show tonight. This became a track for Rico Abreu right up against the wall where he likes it. Working well for him off the top of turn number 4. He moves by the lap car Stenhouse down into turn 1. Next car he'll encounter is Chase Randall.
And this is where it'll get interesting. The next batch of lap cars are all over the racetrack. There's some on the bottom, some on the high side. Rico's going to have to get crafty and creative to not lose too much time. He'll put Joe B. Miller a lap down, who's on the bottom. And there's Chase Randall. The yellow and black 9 car is a lap car. So what does Abreu do is he still tries to get around Joe B. Oh, and Randall goes to the bottom. That was a big break for Rico right there. Larson, meanwhile, closing in on Parker Price Miller in the race for second, but still not good enough to challenge.
Now the top of 1 and 2 wide open for Rico. He'll get by Joe B. Now, oh boy, almost got into the outside of Chase Randall on the exit of 2. Bobbles a little bit now.
Oh, Price Miller
up into the wall, upside down. Red is out.
Parker Price Miller goes for a tumble in 3 and 4. Got up into the fence just a little bit. But a tough break for the driver running second. We see him moving in the cockpit. And he was doing an admirable job holding off Kyle Larson and Parker Price Miller out of the race car over in 3 and 4.
You know, Dylan, we saw how big that cushion is. It's deep up there, right? And so when you get up over it, there's not a lot you can do but hang on. He got up into the wall there. The car kind of climbed the fence. We'll get a replay, I believe, here in just a moment.
And you can see the agitation and frustration from PPM. Knew he had a good shot. Here is a replay on Flo. Just got a little tight, and got into that cushion just like you said, Tony, and away she went.
Tough break for Parker Price Miller. Had a good run going as he surveys the damage there on the Chalksticks 9P.
And yeah, guys, it's pretty significant. Of course, Nerf bar damage, radius rod damage. You look at the front axle as well. Shock damage on the right front. Took a pretty big lick to that side of the race car before going up and over. But you guys just mentioned it, the curb. I felt like this is almost like a broken record sometimes when we get to this point in the feature and you just look how deep it is. This is to give you another good idea. Yeah, exactly. Oh, boy, look at this. And this is just not even at corner exit. And corner exit, that wall you guys alluded to as well, is caked in dirt right now. So the visibility of seeing kind of where that juts out and how that track falls off of turn 4, it's gnarly. But, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a solid, couple feet. If I even try to climb up here, it's pretty nuts. So certainly it's getting tricky out here. It's getting technical as we get down the waning moments of this race. We'll see what else happens here at the final handful of laps with 14 to go.
Well, how many times have we seen a cushion like that this year with these high-limit races? I mean, Brad and these track prep guys do such a great job. So is that the high side of 4? to give yourself enough momentum to slide by. He looks like he's fading to the bottom here.
To the bottom.
He is. Rico to the bottom, Larson to the top. Macri goes bottom as well. And Eliason in fourth went to the top side. So everybody gridded up as normal and lights out. 14 to go. It's Abreu and Larson, 1 and 2. Abreu on the inside, Larson on the outside. Let's see what kind of restart Rico gets. Oh, Rico went early. It'll stand. He gets to the top side right away. Larson tries to cross him over. Eliason goes to third around Macri in the Crouch Motorsports number 11.
Zeb Wise now to the inside of Brian Brown in 3 and 4. Good battle there as Corey Eliason tries to close in, but now your race is for the lead in turn number 2.
Larson gave it a look on the bottom. Rico too strong up top. Eliason, meanwhile, in a torrid battle for third. Anthony Macri shoves into the bottom groove, slides up to the cushion out of turn number 4. Race for third. Give it to Macri.
Macri gets the third spot. Corey goes back to the high side of the racetrack. Hafer team to the bottom as they work through 3 and 4, but down the back straightaway, Eliason gets back by Anthony Macri.
Good battle here for third. Larson not able to do anything with Abreu. Rico's too strong. 11 laps to go, 10 to go next time by. We watch this battle once again for the third spot. It's Macri on the bottom. Eliason getting going on the high side. He's good right now in that 11 car if he can catch these top 2.
Off of turn number 4, here comes Larson again to challenge, but Rico too strong on the high side of the racetrack, but Kyle stays within 5 car lengths of him this time as they work down the back straightaway. Rico back to the top, slows up just a little bit on entry. Oh, bobbles just a bit. Here comes Larson.
Rico has been getting tight on the cushion through 3 and 4. Battle for the lead. Larson's got to pull the trigger now. Slides up across the nose of Rico. Battle for the lead. Abreu back to the bottom. What does Larson do? Back to the high side. He got tight. Abreu sticks to the bottom this time, but Larson's got a big run. Connor Morrell slows on the front stretch.
Morrell pulls in. We stay green. Kyle puts a big slider on Rico. This time it sticks down the back straightaway. Kyle Larson now the leader. Rico follows him to the bottom of 3.
All right, Larson playing defense now. Rico is fading. Not as good as he was earlier in the race. Was getting tight on the cushion. That allowed Larson to make his move and make it stick. He pulls away. He'll come to 6 to go this time by.
Larson back to the, well, he can't get to the bottom. The lap cars are there. He has to use the middle. Rico can, though. He gets on the bottom, not able to close in on. They go back to the top of the 1 and 2. Kyle really good on exit at turn number 2.
And pulling away from Abreu. Corey Eliason still runs third. Macri's fourth. Hafer team's fifth. All the lap cars around the bottom. 5 to go right here for Young Money.
Kyle Larson looking for the extra dice roll money here tonight. 31,000 and some change on the line for him.
Larson kind of sliding through the middle here. Abreu not good enough. He got tight on the cushion again. Through 3 and out of 4 that time. Larson's lead grows to a 2nd and 2/10.
The middle of that cushion in 3 and 4 is tricky. Tough.
Larson able to get to the bottom here. Moves around C.J. Leary, the lap car, and sticks to the bottom. Rico again. He's in danger of losing 2nd. Here's Eliason to the inside.
Eliason now taking a look. 3 car lengths back. Macri goes to the bottom, down the back straightaway. Watch Rico in the middle of 3 and 4, though. The top has been very tricky for him. He goes to the bottom this time, trying to fend off the charge as they work through lap traffic.
I think they all want to get to the bottom just because it's a little bit more predictable, but the lap traffic is there. Larson has been trying to do that as well. 2 to go down the back straightaway. He'll see the white flag this time as he works through the bottom. 3 or 4 lap cars in his sight. Out of 4, white flag for Larson.
Final time for Kyle Larson, trying to go back-to-back wins. He picked up the win at Waynes County, his first series win of the season, looking for the dice roll money on top of it all through 3 and 4. Off at turn number 4, Kyle Larson goes to victory lane. Oh, red flag in turns 1 and 2. Aaron Reitzel.
Checker did wave.
Only the leader took the checker before.
Aaron Reitzel upside down in 1 and 2. But it's official. Kyle Larson goes back-to-back with the High Limit Sprint Car Series and cashes in on the dice roll $8,000 bonus. Rico Abreu 2nd, Corey Eliason 3rd.
So rescue crew tending to Aaron Reitzel over in turn number 1. Looks like they're trying to get the car rolled over as it was standing up on the tail. Looks like Aaron is climbing out of the car, race fans, over in the middle of 1 and 2. Yeah, he's out of the car.
So good news there. Tough end to his night. Curious what happened with Abreu there, if he was just struggling or if he was having some sort of problem, because he faded quickly, and it was in a great battle there with Eliason for that second spot. Larson saw his opening and took advantage when he could, and then was able to pull away ultimately to over a 1.5 second margin over Rico Abreu. Teams will get pushed off the racetrack. The top 3 will go to scales, where it'll be official. 14.25, the weight with driver.
Well, he was nervous about taking the dice roll after a little peer pressure from you, the fans, here at Tri-City Speedway, and I think you'd be happy with this decision as Young Money rolls into victory lane here at Tri-City. Paul Silva, the crew, his entire family, Kyle Larson, here in victory lane. This one is special as the first dice roll acceptant winds up taking home the money, and it's Kyle Larson who gets it done. Back-to-back features. Owen's going to climb up there. Audrey's there as well. We'll let the whole family get atop the 57 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, Young Money, Kyle Larson. $31,000 and change to Kyle Larson here at Tri-City. Kicking off a big race week here in the St. Louis area.
Is that wise? 18th to 6 or 17th to 6?
We'll let Kyle come on over to the front of this race car from 8th to 1st for the win. Kyle, you kind of joked and you said, man, you're pressuring me into taking this. I don't know if I was going to or not, but first of all, walk me through getting to that position with Rico. Obviously, a little bit of luck was involved, some contenders dropping out, but what did you find in your race car in that last run that was the difference with Rico?
My car felt really good. I just, we got that red, and I was kind of running through the crumbs before that in 3 and 4. I could tell the top 3 and 4 was getting really sketchy. You know, Parker was making mistakes up there, and the red came out, and I saw there was like a clean lane of grip, you know, not just marbles. It's hard to see when you're at speed, and I figured Rico was going to run the top, and he did, and I got his inside a couple of times. I was like, man, please don't go to the bottom, please don't go to the bottom, and was able to throw a slider on him, and then he went to the bottom. I thought I was screwed, and he spun his tires really bad off the corner, and I was able to hit the top okay there and get another run back by and slide him and get good grip off the cushion. So I'm out of breath. I was anytime you race Rico, when it's on the wall like that, you got to get aggressive. And, I mean, he's pushing so hard that just to stay within striking zone, if he makes a mistake, you have to push hard too. So out of breath, but great car. Again, you know, we've been running really strong so far with the 57. So happy to get another win and get Paul extra money. He didn't really talk to me when I went back to the pit. So glad we were able to get him some extra money there.
Yeah, I just talked to him. He said he's glad you didn't take the 11 originally, at least for that sake. But you talked about at Wayne County how special this is with this series to get a victory here with all the fans. To go back-to-back, what does it mean for you?
Yeah, it means a lot. You know, great crowd tonight. You know, I told Brad before this race, you know, early over the offseason we were trying to pick tracks. I was like, man, Tri-City was packed every night last year. So great to see a great crowd, and you know, it was another fun night of racing. So thanks to Finley Farms, Holcomb Brothers Trucking, Glenn Sires, FloRacing, everybody who helps out, JVI, Durst Incorporated. There's so many people that help, and we don't get to race a bunch, but it's always nice we can race and get them some recognition.
Heck of a start to the week. Young Money, Kyle Larson, back-to-back in the High Limit Series, this time at Tri-City Speedway. And now I will hop down, and we'll go find Rico Abreu. Parked over on the front straightaway. Boy, what a run for Rico. Looked like he had an opportunity for yet another high-limit sprint car victory that slipped away. But a solid effort for this El Bandito machine. ShopRico.com on the race car as well. Rico, come on over to the front here. Well, we talk about heartbreak, right? And Lakeside with the flat tire, that's heartbreak. How would you describe a second place run to Kyle there, especially the way you two were battling at the end?
Yeah, just good racing. You know, these guys do a phenomenal job on my car, and we got some local sponsors this weekend. You know, El Bandito, Yankee Tequila, Eric's here with his crew, and it's cool to race in front of them and them come and experience what I do for a living. So, you know, it's a great tequila company that's working to be on board here at Tri-City Speedway. So just hats off to all these sponsors that make this car go around. And I felt like I made a lot of mistakes at the end. It's just hard to judge race pace. And, you know, you got Kyle behind you and Macri and these guys that have speed all year long. So, you know, I was racing as hard as I could, and, you know, the mistake factor is more and more critical. So, you know, just like I said, hats off to these guys. You know, they just do an unbelievable job with my car consistently, and every weekend we show up and we're in contention, and it just it really makes you appreciate all these guys in this pit area that work on this car, and for us to come out here and perform in front of the best fans in the world, it's always an honor to race in front of all you guys.
How difficult was the top of 3 and 4? I mean, it's so hard, and again, we won't understand to be perfect every time on the top side of that race, but just through how difficult that is.
Yeah, just it's hard to run it consistently. I would hit a good lap, and you know, I got away from Kyle, and then I could see his wing board diving in there, you know, and I knew I was gonna get beat down here, and I just was trying to hit my marks more and more, and I felt like you know, I was it was probably time to move down and just kind of roll around down there and try to keep the speed up of the car to sit in the moisture, and I just probably was a couple laps too late. You know, thinking back on it all now, and but like I said, these guys gave me a phenomenal car to start 6th and run to 2nd, lead some laps. You know, we're just right there in the hunt every night.
All right, nice job, Rico Abreu. And maybe he's got some tequila samples back there. What do you think? Yeah? All right, good deal. Rico Abreu comes home 2nd. And rounding out the podium, best finish of the high-limit career, Corey Larson from 13th. Okay, so you were able to make some big moves here on a technical racetrack. Describe your night for me.
It was eventful. It started, you know, in qualifying. I kind of buried us. I come to green and got the white and then got the checkered, so I thought I was only getting 1 lap, or we were coming to green. So we only got 1 lap in, but, you know, we just got to dig ourselves out, and it shows, you know, Brad and Steven stick behind it, and they gave me a great race car, and we're able to dig and able to race, which this joint's pretty cool. We were here for the Outlaw Show, and it was racy. Wasn't quite as technical. The bottom definitely was harder to hit, and the top was harder to make speed just because it wasn't as gripped up as it was last time. But it's pretty cool to be up here on the podium, especially, you know, with Larson and Rico. They both they did good. I thought, you know, with that restart, I could kind of mix it up with them, you know, close at least. But you know, overall 3rd place, you know, after getting I guess KO'd the last race and not really having a good high limit series debut so far. So like I said, you know, Leighton Crouch gives us everything we need, and this Mobil 1's high plane division Marchant Cattle Company 11 is good.
So far, so good, and the comfortability with this car, too, with this relatively new program under your belt, too, is starting to feel pretty good.
It definitely is. You know, it's more of I guess a confidence thing, you know, comfort thing. It's good when you get to somewhere and you know, when they make changes, that something's going to change, and you know, well, you know, sometimes it could be wrong way, but you still for some reason overcome it just with the confidence, and you know, so far we've been going the right way, and it's been a pleasure to drive, and I look forward. You know, this is 10 races in now, so you know, if we can kind of get halfway through the season, hopefully we kind of this is a momentum builder into the month of money.
Awesome job. Corey Larson rounds out your podium from the 13th starting position. Well, boys, another good one here at Tri-City Speedway, an incredible night of racing. And again, Young Money Kyle Larson doing Young Money things, winning the dice roll in his first shot here. The first one to take it gets it done for an extra $8,000. That does it from down here on the front straightaway. We'll send it back up to you guys.
Good work, Chris. Thank you. And, yeah, great run for Elias. And Zeb Wise beats him out by 1 spot for the Tezos Hard Charger, 17-6 for Zebby. It's an extra $1,100, $100 per car pass. So, nice bonus for Zeb and company. Point standings update after 4 races. Kyle Larson, of course, extends his points lead to 37 over Anthony Macri. Rico Abreu moves to 3rd. Brian Brown, Justin Sanders, the top 5, with Tyler Courtney, Michael, Buddy Kofoid, Corey Elias, and Brent Marks, and Zeb Wise, the top 10. in points. Next week marks the end of a busy opening stretch here for the High Limit Sprint Car Series before we have a few weeks off in the summer. We head to the Eagle Raceway in Nebraska, which I know Kyle and Brad are excited about. We're excited about.
Yeah,
it's a great racetrack. Return of 410 sprint car racing there on a national scale. Going to be a lot of fun, Tony.
Yeah, looking forward to getting back over to Eagle. It's been a while since I've been there, but already a lot of buzz on the internet about getting 410s back over there. So I expect a big crowd when we get over there.
Final thoughts for you tonight. Race 4 in the books.
Great race tonight. Tricky track. Got up by the cushion. We kind of thought, some of the suspects that we see out front of us here would be up there. Good to see Zeb get a good run tonight. That's probably one of the things I'll take away from tonight.
Absolutely. Let's go back down to Chris real quick before we go.
Real quick, track owner Kevin Gundaker wanted to offer some words because, boy, we talk about the High Limit crew coming in here and putting on a show, but it's the behind-the-scenes work that made it happen.
Oh, sure. It's great working with these guys. We didn't know what to expect when we came in. We haven't worked with them before, but, boy, it's sure great. We had a great crowd. 2 people. My dad especially has allowed me to chase this dream since 2005. I really appreciate that, and he's my partner here. All our great crew and our staff here at Tri-City Speedway, but there's one guy in particular who was in a bad accident here at the end of last year, Bob Lineman. I know he's sitting at home watching in Evansville. And, damn it, Bob, wish you were here. Love you, buddy.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate all your hard work. Guys, happy track owner, happy series, and it's always nice when the series owner wins, too.
Yeah, Kevin, a great racer in his own right back in the day as well, and doing a lot of great things for the St. Louis racing area and, of course, down here as well. I think that'll wrap it up for us here from the broadcast booth. Again, congratulations to Kyle Larson, Rico Abreu, and Corey Eliason on their great runs as well tonight. For Tony Bachhoven and Chris Wilner, I'm Dylan Welch and the rest of our FloRacing production crew. We will see you next week on Tuesday, June the 6th from the Eagle Raceway.